Yo guys, this is your artist Tolg and welcome to another epic tutorial. Today you will learn how to draw Goku Ultra Instinct full body. This will be a very detailed and long tutorial, which means that after this video you will definitely be able to draw Goku perfectly. Let's talk about the materials first. What we need is a high quality paper. As we will use Copic show markers later, we need Copic paper. I like to use 250 gram thick paper. I use this kind of paper for years now and I'm absolutely happy with them. Next, we need a pencil. Recently I am using this pencil from Faber Castell 2B. I like to use this one because it's very strong and therefore the line art is more visible for you guys. The eraser I use is from Faber Castell. I just saw this one in the art store. I like the design very much and I had to put this one into my art collection. I also got an eraser stick, also from Faber Castell. This one is perfect if you want to erase smaller areas. That's all we need for now. If you have everything together, we can start with the drawing. We will use the A4 sheet paper in portrait position. The square size is 2 cm on each line. If you got that right, we can start with the eye of Goku. We will draw him just a little from the side. We will use the length of the square to draw the eyebrow of Goku. And as you guys know, that when Saiyans are looking angry, they have those wrinkles between the eyebrows. We will draw them on the left side of the square. Then we will draw the other eyebrow. Make sure to keep the height of the eyebrows at the same level. After that, we will use the horizontal line to keep the proportions of the eyes right. Perfect. Now we will add the iris at the middle of the eye and in there the pupils. Make sure to position the iris so as if Goku is looking at you. Great. Now we will draw the nose. The noses of Dragon Ball characters are very spiky. We need actually just 3 lines, just like that. And just under the nose we will draw his mouth. We will give Goku a serious look, just like that. Now we will draw the shape of his face. Therefore, we will use the guidelines as well. Next to the eye, we will position the ear. We will make the shape of the ear curvy and then we will add the details into it. The neck starts under the ear and under the chin. I will give him some scratches to make him look even more badass. Now to the hair. As you guys know, the Ultra Instinct transformation has almost the same hair shape as its base form. Just the hair strands are a little more spiky and have more volume. We will start with the 4 hair strands which are falling into his face. just like that. Now to the main hair. We will make the hair strand big and spiky. Make sure to draw them not just straight. We will make the hair look a little mixed up. With volume, the hair will look way better. Okay, great. We are done with the head of Goku Ultra Instinct. Looking pretty good so far, right guys? But now we can move on to the body. To draw the torso right, we will draw a small guide line. This line will help us to place the chest muscles perfectly. We will draw Goku with his shirt on. The upper chest will be visible. We will draw the chest curvy, so it will look more muscular. And then we will add the details to the neck and traps. make it easier for us to draw the torso, we will draw just the shape of his shirt. After that, we can add the details into it. Perfect. As you can see, that way it is very easy to draw. Same with the belt. First, we will draw the shape of the belt and then we will draw the details. To make him look like he is straight in a battle, we will draw his ripped red shirt over the belt. Now we can add the details into his pants. The pants of Goku are very wide and loose. To make it look that way, we will draw it with a lot of wrinkles. Therefore, we will add many curvy and straight lines into the pants. Looking very good. Now before we will draw the details of his shoes, let's draw his right arm first. As Goku is looking to us from the side, his right arm is seen very little. So draw the shape of his arm and fist, and then you can add the details into it. Great, let's move on to the shoes, or should I say boots. The feet of Dragonball characters are very edged and spiky. The boots of Goku have a loop above his feet. The design is actually very simple, just how I'll show you here. And that's already it, guys. This is how you sketch Goku Ultra Instinct full body. It wasn't that hard, right? I told you that with some simple steps, it will be very easy for you to draw full body Dragon Ball characters. If you have any more questions, let me know them down below in the comments. And if you're ready, we can continue with the inking. Let's go, 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 go! Okay guys, I hope your hand is relaxed, because to do a clean inking, your hand has to be relaxed. As you guys know, I always do 2 layers of ink. First, I ink my drawings the normal way, just going over all the lines with a pen. After that, I erase the pencil stuff, of course. But after that, I do a second layer of ink, which where I do thicker lines. That gives my drawings an unique and special look. But we will come to that later. The pen I'm using here is from Faber Castell. The size is 0.05 mm. I love to use this size because it allows me to work very accurate. So, there is actually not much to say about the first layer of inking. Just relax, take your time and work very slow. Move the paper around so your hand is in a comfortable position during the entire inking process. I will show you a small part in real time so you get an idea of how I ink my drawings. Just like that guys, very simple. Now we will erase all the pencil stuff. I actually have another eraser, which I didn't show you at the beginning. It's also from Faber Castell. If you use the eraser, make sure that you don't use it too hard, otherwise you will mess up the paper. That's one reason I like to use thicker paper. It's way harder to crumble thick paper than normal light paper. For smaller areas, I like to use the eraser stick. When you are done with the erasing, we can move on to the second layer of ink. And you don't have to do the second layer of ink, guys. If you're happy with the normal ink style, that's totally fine. This is just my art style and I love doing it that way. If so, skip the video until the coloring. But if you want to learn how to do these thicker lines, here we go. We will take the same 0.05mm size pen and then we will go over all the lines again. Here is another real-time part, so you'll get the idea of how I do it. It's actually a simple process. Just make sure to do these lines not too thick, otherwise it will look very amateur-like. I like to do the thicker lines on the outer part of the character, and on the face or on other small areas I like to keep the normal ink. That way we will not overdo it. That's all I can say about the second layer of ink. Again, keep your hand relaxed and move the paper around. So, now you see the head of Goku as an example. I think it looks way better with these thicker lines. Now we will color the hair black. Therefore, you can use any black marker you have. We will color the bigger areas with the marker, and for the smaller areas, like the edges of the hair, we will use the pen again. We will do exactly the same process until we are finished with the hair of Ultra Instinct Goku. Perfect. Now we will continue doing these thicker lines all around Goku. And pay attention that you don't do these lines too thick. Therefore, we have to use the pen very lightly and focused. Okay guys, we are done with the inking and it looks very clean, and as you can see, these thicker lines are giving our drawing a very unique touch. I do my art like this for years now, and I really can't imagine doing my line work without these thicker lines. But anyways, we are ready to color this amazing piece, so let's go! So guys, as you know, I am using Copic Paper markers. These are alcohol-based markers, which means that we can blend them very well, and this is how they look like. These markers have two tips. One is perfect for bigger areas and the other one is more narrow, so you can color smaller areas very well. You can also refill these markers. That means they will last forever if you have the refills. The price of these markers are very high, but if you consider what I mentioned before, it is a very good investment, especially for artists. We also need one brown colored pencil for the skin, but we will come to that later. Okay, enough info about the Copics. Let's start the coloring. We will start with the hair. The color tones we need are BV31 and BV23. We will start with BV31, which is a lighter color tone. Here is another small part in real time, so you get an idea of how I do the coloring. Great, now we will use BV23 to do the shading. The shading will be close to the black area of the hair, which will give the hair that shiny look. We will leave the brighter parts on the outer part of the hair. Perfect. Now we will use BV23 again to do another layer to increase the contrast of the shading. Okay, good. Now we will use the same colors for the eyes. To finish up the eyes, we will use a white Gale pen to add one dot on each eye. This little detail will make a big difference on the overall look. Now we will continue with the skin. Therefore we need 3 different color tones, which are E50, E37 and E49. We will start with the brightest color tone, which is E50. We will use this color tone to color the entire skin with. Just make sure to leave some white areas to give Goku a shiny effect. Then we will use E37 to do the shading. We will add some shading on the forehead, neck and the chest. Just like that. Now we will use E49 to add some small dark shading. After that, we will use the brown color pencil to go over the shading part, which we did with E37. That will increase the contrast even more. Here is another small part in real time for you guys. And this is how it looks like. Now we will do the same process to color the arms. We will leave some dark shadings on the bicep, tricep, shoulders and on the forearms. Perfect. Now we are done with coloring the skin of Ultra Instinct Goku. Let's move on to his clothes. We will start with the shirt. Therefore, we need two color tones which are B39 and BV29. We will use B39 to color the entire shirt. Take a look at how I do the coloring and do it the exact same way. Now we will use BV29 to add some shading to the shirt. We will use the folds of the shirt to do the shading. After we did the shading, we will use B39 again to do a little blending. Perfect. These dark colors gives the overall drawings a very special look. We will use the same color tones to color the belt and the wristbands. The boots of Goku have the same blue tones as the shirt, belt and wristbands. We will use B39 to color the base, and then we will use BV29 to do the shading. Great. For the lines of the boots we need two different red tones, which are R05 and R59. Use R05 first to color the lines with. Then we will use R59 to do the shading. Use the shading of the blue part to adjust the red shades. For the loops, we need again two different color tones, which are Y28 and W7. Use Y28 first to color the loops with, and then use W7 to add some small shading into it. Perfect. Let's take a look at the result so far. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think, guys? Now we will color the pants to finish up the full body Goku Ultra Instinct. Therefore, we need 4 different color tones: YR07, E08, E29 and E49. We will start with YR07 to color the entire pants of Goku. Take a look at how I do the coloring. Perfect. Now we will use E08 to do some big shading all around the pants. Use the folds of the pants to do the shading. As you can see, I do the shadings more at the inner part of the pants. Because of the aura, which we will do later, the outer part of Goku has to be lighter. That will give the overall look that shiny effect. Okay, that looks very good so far. Now we will use E29 to add some even darker shading, which will increase the contrast. We will use the folds of the pants again to do the shading. Okay guys, the last color tone will be E39. With that we will just add some small dark shadings along the folds of the pants. To finish up the pants, we will use the lightest color tone YR07 to do a little blending. Now we are done. Well, almost done. I feel like that the skin is a little too light. Therefore, we will use another skin tone to increase the contrast. We will use E21 to add some light highlights around the skin of Goku. Let me show you what I mean. Okay guys, now we are really done with the coloring full body Goku Ultra Instinct. Now we will add an epic aura to this epic drawing to make it look even more epic. Are you ready? Okay, here we go! We need 3 different blue tones and 1 black marker for the background, and also the white Gale pen to add the white spots later on. We will start with BG10 to do the first layer of the aura very close to the body of Goku. If you want, you can do the aura with colored pencils or whatever markers you want, but I like to do it with Copic Paper markers. Okay, the next blue tone is B02. We will add another layer around the brighter blue tone. The last blue tone is B05. Use this one to do another layer around the aura. Just do the shape of the aura first. We will color it with more definition later on. Okay, great. Now we will use a black marker to color the rest of the background all black. Put another piece of paper under your drawings so you don't mess up the table. Okay, good. But we have to do another layer of black to actually cover everything perfectly. Just like that. Now it's time to give the aura a little more detail. We will use B05 to increase the contrast of the outer part of the aura and try to make the aura a little more fire-like. Great. Now we will use B02 to give the second layer of the aura more detail as well. Use the Copic marker as a brush pen and use just the tip of it to do the details of the aura. Same with the brightest color tone BG10. Perfect. Now we will use the black marker again to give the outer part of the aura more definition and to make it look more fire-like. Okay, now we will use the blue markers again to increase the contrast of the aura and to add the last details into it. Now to the last touch. We will use a blue color pencil to add some highlights on the outer part of the aura. Dope! We are almost done, guys. Now we will use the white scale pen to add the famous white spots to the Ultra Instinct transformation. We will do small white spots on one another. Make sure to do these spots with a little distance to each other.